Hello and well met. I wanted to do another short video update to give you the astrology as we move towards a new moon in Libra. So the moon is disappearing from our skies to give us and take us into this darkness of a new moon, which for some of us is a comfortable time. For others, it's not so comfortable. Not having the moon around can feel very destabilizing. So the way to work out how you fit into all of that is establishing what the moon phase was when you were born, and that will give you greater clarity even over how you're going to feel around moon phases. So what's going on in the stars? Well, first of all, we've got yesterday Mars and Libra went conjoined with the south node of the moon, and then today went into tension with Pluto. This is an opportunity for a massive unleash of power and an opportunity to accomplish great things. So if you've had an idea that you wanted to take forward, this is the time to do it. Or if you're protecting your personal boundaries, doing some shadow work, this is when you're going to find kind of the vibe, the energy to move things through. You're going to be incredibly powerful. And again, the caveat with this information is it really does depend on your chart. This is general, what's going on, but you need to know in your chart where these particular placements are to truly understand how they fit with you. So if it doesn't feel like it fits, that's because just your placements aren't these ones. Well, they depends which house it's in. Venus has gone into Virgo. That happened yesterday. It's opposing Saturn today. This allows us to have a sober view of the world in which we live in, to allow us to see what we need to do, what's left outstanding. Then as we move towards tomorrow, we've got Libra Sun opposite Chiron in Aries. So this is the indication of the need to resolve conflicts diplomatically, because Libra brings diplomacy. Libra seeks harmony. Libra is very fair-minded, is very truth-orientated. Pluto is also ending its retrograde phase, so you may feel kind of, you've been doing a lot of shadow work, transformation, and kind of going back over old loops and patterns, and that ends today. So hopefully there should be some greater light around, and this is Tuesday the 10th of October 2023. Mars is entering Scorpio on Thursday, trining with Saturn in Pisces a day later. So it can feel, as we kind of move towards this new moon, which is also a solar eclipse, that there's loads of energy and a sense of urgency around everything. And when we think of a solar eclipse, it's a kind of upsurge of energy. That's the way I see it. It's kind of shining a light on everything. I mean, the sun is covered, but it's kind of covered by the moon, so it's kind of shining a light on all of everything that remains to still need work doing upon, if that makes sense. So that gives us courage and willpower to look at these things. And there's a certain brittleness perhaps around this new moon, because its eclipse is opposing Chiron, so old wounds may come up. And as I said, if the moon is moving in front of the sun, then that's going to mean that it's kind of, the sun is backlighting all of the shadow, really, the discomfort in the self, in the soul. And we all have it. It's completely normal to have these things. We are humans working through our human journey. None of us is perfect. Oh, the sun is going in, so you can probably see me a bit more clearly. And so this is what we have to do. We are forever evaluating, learning, looking at things in different ways until we understand them. And then when we understand them and we find peace with them, and we can give forgiveness to ourselves and to others, then they dissipate away. But we've had big traumas happen to us, so that ability to give forgiveness and find the kind of the gems in the negative experience, in the trauma, can take a long time, and that's absolutely fine. That is the way it's designed to be. But from that, from growing through things, understanding them, finding a way to find peace with them and give forgiveness, then we get to feel more self-empowered, and we get to grow into who we truly are, which is part of an enormous collective. There is nothing new, no new thoughts, no new ideas. It's all gone round before, and knowing that reminds us that we are literally part of everything. What is helpful in all of this is that Mercury is also opposite Chiron, so that's giving us the voice to talk about our challenges, the words to communicate them, or it might not be words, it might be music, it might be painting. However you communicate the trauma, your trauma, there is energy to make that clear so you can see it, so others can understand it, and so you know what you're dealing with. The message is, take care of yourself, take the necessary steps to improve your situation, and take the time so to really look at it and understand it, because this new moon is actually the Ivy moon, and the Ivy moon is all about the spiral of life, death and rebirth. And if you think about Ivy and the way she grows, I personally love Ivy. She finds a way to go to places that others can't venture. And we're in the time of the year when we are starting to go inward, and to have Ivy supporting us, to offering us her hand in friendship, because that's what she does. She's a very friendly, supportive plant. She only grows to prolong life when she grows on trees and plants. So if you see Ivy, she is actually doing and bringing life. She's the last plant to flower at the end of the year, giving food to birds, bees and butterflies. So she's really deeply magical, which is why you'll find her throughout all of our art and craft since time immemorial, because she is so magical. So she's divinely feminine as well, so this kind of wending and weaving. She is ruled by Saturn though, because she can hold you back. And with being held back, the message of Ivy is to basically understand that it's just to hone your skills. It's not to hurt you or harm you, it's to give you another opportunity to become more complete, do it a better way. And it doesn't always feel like that, it feels incredibly frustrating when you get held back, but that's how it is. So in this new season, which is what this new moon is heralding, there's like also the opportunity to fundamentally create something before we literally go into the time of rest. So this is like, if there's any final ideas you want to put into practice, things you want to create, this is the time to do it, whilst retaining introversion, a connection with the heart. So look at your inner worlds, nurture your hopes and dreams, understand what they are. I've just done a lot of work with my circle over values, understanding our values. It's integral to understanding what is important to you, and that is not as simple as it sounds, because you can quite often have a value that doesn't match perhaps your thought process, and then you're not vibrating at the right frequency to attract it, or in fact what you think you need is not actually what you want. And that's what I mean. And because we literally vibrate our values and emit those frequencies, that is what we attract. So if you find that you feel that you've done everything to try and attract something and it hasn't manifested, you need to work out what your true values are around that, because there is going to be a lack of alignment, which is why it's not coming. And this is also the chance to pick up anything that fell by the wayside during the height of summer and put in motion all that you wish to make true. So it's an interesting time. as always, it's always interesting. I always find it interesting, and it's so wonderful to feel connected to the solar system and the fact that these huge planets are moving around and having an effect on little old us. And that gives us an understanding of the fact that we are going through these processes are meant, and this is life's journey. It is literally all about the journey in this human experience, not about the destination. If you would like your chart read to understand how these things make sense to you, then please get in touch. I offer free 15-minute consultations. All my information about my different services on my website, which is www.theoilywitch.co.uk. Much blessings and happy new moon in Ivy.